Dad, why don't you start?
No, you can start.
No, I think you should start.
You have the energy.
You know what? I do have a lot of energy.
So
we are talking about soul food, right? Soul food. So you know what? We...
You excited, huh?
You were very excited.
Oh, it's excited.
So let's kick it. Kick it, 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 kick it.
All right, so we're going to be talking about soul food today. Basically, what's the deal with soul food?
I love it.
What's the deal with soul food?
We like to eat it.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It is comfort food.
Right. What, so soul food, I think, takes on like a lot of different, in different cultures, it could be different things, right? So in the Black culture and the African American culture, we have soul food, and we know exactly when you say soul food, what we're talking about, right?
Right, because we coined the phrase.
Right.
Yeah.
In other cultures, it may be, I don't know what
right.
you know what I'm saying? They don't say, soul food in their culture. I mean, they may say something else, but we consider soul food.
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
Like we kind of think of soul food as a genre. Like when you think soul food, I think a lot of people's idea of that tends to go towards stuff that we would make. You know,
Right.
like collard greens,
fried chicken.
yeah.
a style of food, like Italian, Chinese, soul food.
Soul food, it's like its own category, right?
But to us, it's I don't know, it's something deeper than just a category of food.
Share that. I like that.
Basically,
That's interesting that you said that.
right?
Yeah, I guess.
Because with us, soul food, there's a feeling to it. You understand? When you're talking about soul food, more so than just, this is, like I said, Chinese or Italian or whatever. But soul food is, it's home cooked, number one.
True.
It's no, fast food type of somebody, sat down and, whether good or bad, sat down and,
Put their foot in it.
Yeah.
Right, put their foot in it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole problem.
Like their actual foot?
No, not their actual foot.
Okay.
Just the same.
Just
To clarify for those out there who may not know the term.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that means it tastes real good.
Right, exactly. As I was, when I was growing up, we just ate food. We didn't say, oh, this is soul food or whatever, but there was certain things or certain dishes that we had like all the time. Right. And I guess that would be considered soul food in our family. Like collard greens was a staple. If you had a meal that was like a Sunday dinner or something like that, collard greens was going to be part of it,
Oh, man, that stank smell that be filling up the house. Oh my God, the best.
Right.
Especially during Thanksgiving when you make those big old pot of greens that fills up the entire house.
Through the house.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And I but there's some soul food that I would not. Well, let me take that back. Soul food I used to eat. Like I used to really like chitlins. I would get down on some chitlins.
There's a lot of things you don't eat. A lot of the down home soul food stuff you don't eat. The chitlins.
No.
Hog maw.
No, God, no. Crackling bread, things like that.
Yeah.
Have y'all had any of that?
I was gonna say I don't even know what some of
That sounds more like I never had no crackling bread.
It seems like a lot of that kind of stuff comes from especially like Southern cuisine.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
That's kind of where
Came
it came from. And I think the whole notion of some of the things that African Americans eat, or even in the Caribbean, the enslaved, especially here in America, didn't eat the best cuts of meat, right?
Yeah, we had to sort of like make do with the
scraps.
The scraps, yeah, the scraps what we had. That's why we like stuff like pig's feet.
But okay, I used to eat those too.
I don't
From the rooted to the
From the rooted to the. You guys never had chitlins?
Nope.
Ooh.
No.
Wow.
I
Okay.
know, right?
Yeah.
Every part of the pig gets eaten.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
From the tongue to the nose to the foot to the insides. It's crazy.
But that's what people did. The interesting thing also is the like eating those foods. I remember your dad would talk about how when he was coming up, his grandmother would make like down home Southern cooking, and he wanted no part of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a two For me, there's 2 tiers of the soul.
There's levels to this.
There's levels to this, right? So you got your, you got your soul food. It's your regular, collard greens, mac and cheese,
Right.
fried chicken.
Right. Yeah.
Soul
Yeah.
food.
Soul food. Right.
That's your surface.
That's
soul
the
food.
surface soul food.
Yeah. My grandma used to make that underground. Underground rap, that underground soul food.
Underground soul food.
Okay, so you got cornbread, right?
Yeah.
Your Jiffy.
You got
Jiffy cornbread. Then you got crackling bread, which was, first of all, it's not sweet.
It's not sweet like corn.
What is
like,
it?
Yeah.
It's just cornbread, and it has little pieces of hard pork in it. It's not good. You got your crackling bread. You got chitlins,
Chitlins. Right. Yeah.
Why? Wait. Back up.
Yeah.
Why pork in there?
Pork was in everything.
It was.
Why?
Like you put a piece of fat back in your greens. Now
Oh,
they put
you gotta
turkey.
have fat back.
Now they
Well, or what are those neck bones? Smoked neck bones.
No,
Yeah,
neck
neck
bones,
bones.
yeah.
Yeah. Gotta put the neck bones in there. Right. Yeah.
like pieces of fat back. They used to put fat. You ever heard of fat back? It's a strip.
I feel
Strickling. What is it? Like old school
It's-
strickling? Used to call it something.
Yeah, but no,
basically,
fatback is a little different.
It's not.
But yeah, I used to like straight up eat fatback. Mine used to fry
it's
it,
like
and
a
I used
big
to eat it.
strip of, I don't know where it comes from on a pig, but
Fat.
pork.
Another
it's
part of the
like
pig.
fatty.
Yeah.
And it's like a big, thicker piece of bacon.
It was delicious. It was salty. It was, and then it had that crunch
Fatty.
to it, and yeah. Fat
I mean, don't
back.
get me wrong. I like the aspect of fat where you cook it. Like
Right.
the fat actually brings out the juices in a lot. Of
Right,
different
yeah,
things.
no, this-
Put it in
Fat is a
stuff to
flavor.
for
Right,
flavor,
yeah, as a flavoring, yeah,
But
just
then
like
you eat it too.
yeah, just like bacon grease.
Yeah.
I mean, who didn't growing up have a thing of
canister.
bacon grease in their refrigerator? You know,
You have your old canisters and it's have bacon grease.
bacon
or whatever
grease, and you
in
use
there.
that to
Cook
flavor
it.
your greens or whatever, or cook your eggs in, right? I
how it
mean,
went.
this is how it went down.
Yeah.
So
They
that
are
was
a lot more health conscious now.
right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, more so now. So the soul food gets a little, What in terms of soul food, like what are your memories of, or what do you think of when you guys think of soul food?
I remember not liking soul food.
Oh yeah,
in
Marcus.
particular.
What?
Like-
Yeah, what's your story with soul food?
My story with it.
My soul food journey.
soul food journey.
Journey.
Not that I didn't like, I like stuff like, rice and chicken and all of that, but I guess even greens, like not like soul food mac and cheese, not like regular mac and cheese, like the
Kraft?
Yeah, like Kraft.
Yeah.
See, he wasn't even surface level soul
He
food.
wasn't even
Nah,
He was on the
he wasn't there yet.
outskirts.
It was.
When
No.
I asked you, Marcus didn't. Yeah, you ate you like the Kraft macaroni and cheese. You didn't
Yeah,
like
I
your
wasn't
grandmother's
into-
mac and cheese.
Yeah, I wasn't really into like the surface level stuff up until
Yeah, what happened?
What a
when I
time.
got to college and when you're surviving off of like ramen packs every day, all on the cheap or whatever, and you go back home for the weekend, you're gonna eat something fulfilling. Because
Yeah.
you're just looking all thin and everything. Like, I need actual food.
You want something to feed the soul.
Yeah,
Right,
I wasn't going to
yeah.
the dining halls or all that stuff every day. That stuff costs money. So, it was just cheap stuff that you can get on the reg so you could, study or play games or whatever I was doing in college. I don't know. But,
You came home one weekend.
I don't know if it was just one weekend or if it was just one of those things that kind of slowly accumulated, but yeah, I'd come home and be like, all right, let me get some of that. I'll get some of that. And
It was
then,
tasting good.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, it tasted good.
Like, this is the best crack I ever had.
Right, exactly. Better than ramen noodles.
Yeah,
I remember Thanksgiving around that time when you came home and you had greens on the plate and
Yeah.
everyone was like,
What?
Marcus is eating greens?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
That's what college will do to you.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, and
And
it's
I love ramen, don't get me wrong, but that's a different
Different
ramen.
level.
a different ramen. Yeah, you stepped up a level with that.
Oh, yeah.
No more packages.
Maya, what's your whole soul food?
I mean, I've always liked the surface level, like, the fried chicken. Like, it's always, fried chicken, mac and cheese, collard greens, that's always
whole
the
nine yards.
standard for me. So, I mean, I've always loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not so much the greens, because, greens was a vegetable, and as a kid, you're kind of just like, green, vegetable.
Right.
So,
Dropping gems from Keisha Christian. She's on a mission, sharing information, knowledge for soul. body and mind, dropping gems. KeishaGems.com. KeishaGems.com.
So youth get the opportunity to see what it looks like and be a part of it.
What's the deal with Sunday dinner?
What's the deal with Sunday?
No, I'm kidding.
So a big part of I guess the whole soul food thing is like for us, the Sunday dinner. We eat, we eat dinner just about every Sunday. We have, get together with your parents and your brother, and, people come over, whatever, and we have Sunday dinner. Your mom usually cooks, and it's not always necessarily soul food. A lot of times it is, but sometimes she cooks some Italian, like I love her ziti and
Ziti,
but
right?
Yes.
that's a big major soul food situation here, right?
Absolutely. It is, and it is like you were saying. I think you said like soul food for your soul. Like that's what Sunday dinner is. For me, it's something that I've always had growing up as a kid. We went to my grandparents' house. And we every single Sunday, it was church, and then we had Sunday dinner. They would play cards, and they would just have a lot of fun, and music, and just people would always come over. And I remember as a young girl, also I used to make menus. Like I would make menus I called my grandmother's kitchen Lottie's Greasy Kitchen, and Lottie's Greasy Kitchen, and I would make menus. So for whatever she was cooking, I would do the little menus up, and I would show everybody, what the menus of what we were having.
That's adorable.
And it was just it was just a time for us to be together. So when my grandma passed away, I'm like, man, what's the deal with Sunday dinners? Is that going to happen anymore? And then my mom started, grandma started doing the Sunday dinner. Yeah. So it's just a time for people to kind of come together.
Yeah, and kind of piggybacking off of that, like your grandma, your mom, picked up the mantle, and she carried on the Sunday dinner. So for me and Marcus, every Sunday for us as well, it was always Sunday dinner. And like my dad said, she would come over with my grandpa, bring granddaddy over as well, Black Cowboy, and it's a good time because it's nice that every week I'm able to talk to and communicate and just kind of debrief and decompress the week with the different people in my family. It's nice.
Right. Yeah.
That's how that works, I guess.
Wow.
A major. Well, like I said, we have different. We go from. Sometimes we eat out, soul food to Italian, and a lot of times we have breakfast dinner.
Breakfast dinner.
Ooh, breakfast dinner.
But the crazy thing, some people don't like breakfast.
No, I was
dinner.
just gonna say there's a debate.
There's a debate. Yeah.
What debate?
I know.
What
Some
is
people
this
like,
debate?
oh, how can you eat eggs and whatever
Easy.
for dinner?
I put it in my mouth.
Right. Yeah, I could eat it any time of day.
Look, it's morning. First off, it's morning anywhere, somewhere.
Somewhere it's
And-
morning,
up in there. And food is food.
Right. Food.
Like,
Right.
whatever
Some people
time
can't
you
do it.
eat it.
Right, whatever time you eat it.
Exactly.
But a major thing though, right? So in our household, as far as breakfast dinner,
Oh boy.
and just breakfast in general, is a thing that we love to eat is grits. When you
Another
go to certain
debate.
places,
It is,
that's
now
another
this is
debate.
debate.
This is a real debate.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, whether you put sugar in your grits.
Oh,
Yeah, see, you and your father get real offended if somebody puts.
we do. We get very
sugar.
offended.
I don't get offended. I don't eat them that way, but they get offended. I can understand.
Grits, salt, and pepper. That's it.
And cheese.
Yeah,
Little
that's
cheese?
it. I don't like cooking them with cheese,
Right
but
on.
I like to have, because some people cook them with cheese. I don't like to cook it with cheese. I like to regulate my cheese the way I want to do it. But
You and Grandpa,
Yeah.
the food police.
and the thing is too about the grits, they have to be made a certain way.
Uh-oh.
Like just like we were talking about potato salad, you can't eat everybody's potato salad.
Who made the potatoes?
Who made the potato salad? You cannot eat. You know what I'm talking about. You cannot eat everybody's grits. And the grits have to be creamy and like thick and not runny. And there's a special way to make them.
I mean, that's a personal preference too. When you really get down to it, though.
Yeah, I guess. It's funny though, like with the.
She ready to jump across the table.
You gotta attack it. It's funny when you talk about the sayings that people say.
Yeah.
You can't eat anybody's this or who made it. I guess you could apply that to anything. I don't know why they just say it was like who made the potato salad. Well, who made the cornbread? Who made the ribs?
Oh,
right.
Well, that's
Who
true
made
too.
the,
No, that's true.
But everybody just worried about the potato salad.
But because there's so many different ways to make potato salad.
Well, there's
right?
so many different ways to make a lot of stuff.
Right, but with the potato salad, you can't put any, crazy ingredients in there.
Like raisins.
Some people do.
You can't.
What? You can't put raisins?
No.
Now you
No
really
raisins.
offended her.
You can't put raisins in the potato salad.
Is that a thing though? Do people put raisins in potato
Some
salad?
people will
sound
try.
too appealing.
No,
Really?
see what happens. Okay, so with collard greens, right? We were talking about collard greens.
Yeah.
Now on the cooking shows, you'll see people making collard greens, and they saute the collard greens,
With
and
the-
they
that's with the
put
soul food, right?
yeah, with the soul food.
Right.
You cannot saute collard greens. That is not the way to eat collard greens.
Wait.
Nah.
So you're like the dictator on collard greens.
No,
now,
no,
is that
because
what
of
it
a
is?
certain reason though.
No, because that's just because first of all
Takes
they're
a long
tough.
time. Yeah,
and they
tough.
take a long time to cook. So if you're
They're
gonna
not
throw
spinach.
some they're not spinach. You're gonna throw some collard greens in a saute pan,
You're gonna eat some
and then
crunchy
have
collard greens. You're gonna be eating
Well, what if
crunchy
that's
collard
like the chef's intent, though?
the chef will not have me eating his collard greens. you can't.
That's probably a lot of people.
Yeah, you
That's probably
can't.
a lot of people. Because the reason why it is because people ate them and tasted them the way how people cook them regularly.
Right.
And that's what made them go, okay, so I want to make them.
Right.
So now you're going to try your little spin on it, sauteing them.
It doesn't work.
It ain't going to
You
work.
know,
It
but
doesn't
wait,
work.
have you tried? Wait, where have you seen this before?
Like on the
It
cooking
ain't going to work
shows.
for most people.
On the cooking shows, I've seen them.
What, have you seen people doing it?
Yeah, you can't saute collard greens. You have to
But the
Okay.
thing is also, then they take collard greens and, they want to charge now. It's the new thing. They want to charge
that
like
annoys, yeah.
$60 for, a plate of greens. And it's like,
that annoys me.
what? Are you crazy? Like,
Yeah, that annoys
that
Because now
irks
it's
me.
I don't know.
a delicacy,
right.
something new.
You
and
know what?
fresh.
You know what? This is. I don't know if I'm creating this term. It's gentrification of soul food.
I mean, you probably haven't created that term.
Okay.
Exactly,
Give me
but-
a little something. The soul food, some foods that we eat are really, some of them are not
they're
healthy.
not good.
Oh yeah, full of sodium and everything. It's probably has
Sodium,
some type of
fat.
blood pressure.
Right.
High blood
Exactly.
pressure.
Yeah.
We got pressure. We got sugar,
Yeah.
aka diabetes.
You're right. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
Overweight.
Yeah.
So
So
you gotta try to make
you
it
have to
healthy.
kind of and we were talking a little bit about a friend of ours made a documentary called Soul Food Junkies. You guys know Byron Hurt, and one of the things he did was kind of go over the origins of soul food in the documentary, but he also showed ways that you can make it healthier as well.
That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's always good.
Yeah.
Without compromising the flavor.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you can't if you change the flavor, people just ain't gonna eat it.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
definitely.
Right.
You gotta make it good. That's
Right.
kind of like what's this new amazing burger thing that they got now?
Impossible Burger.
Yeah,
From,
it's in-
Yeah,
what's it
I
called?
haven't- I
Burger
haven't
King.
had it.
Yeah. No. Mm-mm.
No.
Well, I mean, I don't know. My thing is, and I guess maybe this is because I've been watching a show. People cooks, chefs, whatever you want to call it. I feel like have to take those kind of risks in order to actually elevate food to do different things with it. Whether that's be making them healthier or just having a new sort of spin on it.
A new spin on
I'm
it.
okay with that as long as they respect the origins of it.
Yeah, but the Impossible Burger, to me, people are like raving about it. I don't eat hamburgers as it is. I do eat turkey burgers. I do like that.
Yeah.
But it's Burger King. You know what I'm saying? In other words, like, it's still Burger King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, but that is the point of it. It's still Burger King.
You know?
Hello, my name is Miya Jones, and I am the editor-in-chief and founder of Shades of Long Island. Shades of Long Island is a website and a media outlet that highlights stories related to minorities, millennials, and Generation Z on Long Island. Check out the site because you're going to get great content, diverse content, local content, Long Island content.
And is fried chicken considered soul food?
I wonder where fried chicken started.
Right, yeah.
Question.
I would say yeah.
I guess it is. You like Southern fried chicken. Like that's, that's
Well,
like
yeah,
a thing, right?
Well, Southern fried chicken.
Right.
It's soul food.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So is it safe to say that all food from in the South is where we get our soul
I think
food from?
so, because the
imagine.
origin.
Yeah, the origin.
You know, during slavery, we got the scraps, as we said before, and we were all down south, when this was going on. So a lot of those foods, came up north. So I would say a lot of the foods from down south are considered soul food.
I think of it I think of it like this. Not all, like, most fried chicken is soul food, but not all soul food is fried. No, I'm getting that.
Getting that confused.
Yeah.
I think I get what you're saying.
Yeah, like, like a lot of, soul food fried chicken can be considered soul food for sure, but it's not that all fried chicken
is soul food.
Gotcha.
I got you. Yeah. Because fried chicken. And you know what? Fried chicken. So you said collard greens, fried chicken, mac and cheese, something. I mean, really, that's really what I like too. I mean,
it's the only thing you eat anymore.
Yeah, you don't
Right.
eat about 6 or 7 things. So, I mean, does Panera Bread have soul food?
They haven't cornered that market yet.
Okay, if they did,
Oh my God.
she would lose her mind.
That's funny.
I don't know. I think turkey wings then went up there. Yeah, your mom's turkey wings.
Oh my goodness.
Turkey wings are good.
Turkey
Fire.
wings.
Fire.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And is that soul food? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
who else
who
makes
was
soul
even- I mean,
food,
come
right?
on, the wings
I mean, who
over turkey?
else makes turkey wings, right?
But I'm wondering. Okay, so you go down south. So was all food that was cooked back then? So food. I mean, all the food is that all considered soul food? I don't think so. Because I'm sure they had certain things that they ate that aren't considered soul food.
Absolutely. And the interesting thing too about it is,
Like, we have turkey for Sunday dinner. That's not soul food, or I wouldn't consider that soul food.
no, it's not. Mm-mm.
Like old. Yeah, no.
Yeah, and I think
Or ham.
ham.
I wouldn't consider that.
Right? No. Mm-mm.
But
I
then
think-
the
See,
scrap.
that's-
Like
I
so,
guess-
that's not the scrap. So like the pig feet, the
Right.
intestine for the chitlins.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Pig ears,
Chicken feet,
chicken feet,
soup. Because they make
chicken feet soup.
Chicken feet soup. I've heard of that.
That's some good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So
I ain't eating that part.
I never had that.
But right, like the butter beans with the scraps or the
Right.
knuckles, and so that is the kind of soul food. And I think a lot of people, like you said, people are a little bit more health conscious, so people kind of move away, from that. But it's all, I mean, it's good eating. The things that the enslaved people were able to throw together, our ancestors were able to throw together, that became something that people wanted to eat. Like
Yes,
I mean,
they went by the cabin and smelled the smell.
maybe
Right, they were
yeah,
They wanted to know
right,
what they were eating.
yeah.
I mean, you can see that with a lot of different foods. Like, apparently lobster used to be, like, prison food or something like that.
Yeah,
Have you
because
heard
it's
of that?
considered the sea
Yeah.
bug.
Yeah, it's
Right.
Crabs.
Yeah, lobster was like a crustacean.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Now it's like a
Wow.
It's a delicacy.
fancy thing, right?
Throw away
Yeah,
food.
right, yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Yeah, that's what happens.
Lobsters are
So
scraps.
and there's another thing that I'm not sure if I don't think it's unique to the Black community, but you had posted something in reference to it was chicken wings, but it was actually how you eat meat off a bone.
Right, how you eat meat off a bone. Basically, it determined 1 through 5 if you're a person that ate all the meat down to the marrow, or you just took a bite and was done with a chicken wing.
Right,
That's
exactly.
so disrespectful.
What's disrespectful?
The one
I
and
mean,
two.
one bite.
Well, I mean, only if
Five.
the chicken's not good, though.
Well, we're determining that the chicken is
The
good.
chicken
You
is
like
good.
The chicken,
We like the chicken.
Okay.
but
Okay.
you just don't eat all the meat off the bone. Listen, my mom taught me. I used to, if I had meat on my bone, she used to walk by. Your nana used to walk by.
She probably did that to y'all.
She might have did that to y'all sometime. And be like, you didn't eat all that meat. She used to grab the bone and.
Oh, she did.
Oh, yeah.
that. Yeah, she did that.
Chew, I mean,
Oh yeah.
gristle meat down. The bone was clean as a whistle. Like a bone collector.
Yeah, my grandma used to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, I didn't eat the meat off the bone. I left
Correct.
it,
Yeah,
you
it's
know, not
definitely when
correctly.
you're young.
That's just like a kid thing.
I think it
Yeah.
is,
Kinda
yeah.
Just like, yeah, you're not gonna eat all.
No, because this kind of looks nasty.
Yeah.
You know, so you're not going to eat all that. You know, the string, it looks nasty.
But once you get old enough to know
Right.
better,
Oh, you tearing that
yeah,
bone up.
you tearing it up. Once you know better.
once you know better.
Once
You
you
do
know
better.
better, you
Wow.
My grandma used to eat the bone marrow.
Yeah. My mom
And that's
too.
like people eat bone marrow.
Right.
Like that's a
For
thing.
health
Yeah,
purposes.
yeah,
They say
exactly.
it's gonna be good for
But
you.
yeah, she used to like chew bones. I'm like,
My
what?
mom used to chew
What
the bones.
is this? Yeah, yeah.
I tried. I ain't like that. But
So I don't know if that's a cultural thing or not.
Well,
You know,
maybe not. Maybe
I,
not be.
it probably is because, you know, in the black community, you know, you need to finish your plate. You need to finish everything. You need to finish your plate. You need to make sure you clear it out, especially, you know how grandpa is.
yeah, I know.
If you don't clean, you know, the food
He's the
harasser.
plate watcher.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't eyes
finish,
bigger than your belly.
he'll
Right.
come at you.
He'll
Come
sit
at
there
you.
and watch everybody at the table to make sure that they didn't get too much more than what they can eat.
I remember like
This day and age.
throwing out food when I was younger.
How was you able to do that with your
Right. He didn't look in the garbage.
He did.
How? He
No,
must
he
have
did.
been at
He
work
was at work. He was at work.
Because I couldn't
Right,
see that
right,
even
right.
nowhere
Yeah.
near passing
No,
it
no,
out.
no. Because my mom, so my mom and making soul food, she didn't feed us soul food when we were coming up. Like she did make macaroni and cheese, which I didn't like. I preferred the Kraft because we never had it. So when I got an opportunity to eat it at a friend's house or my cousin's house, I was all on it.
Sure.
But that's the only thing that I could really remember. But then she used to make these things like stuffed peppers and I don't know, just this stuff that I'm like, I don't want
As a
this.
kid,
I'm
As a
saying
kid.
my mom. My
Yeah,
mom didn't
like
really
this-
make. She used to make spaghetti
Right.
and all this other stuff.
Right.
When I went to my grandmother's house,
Right.
when she was living across the street, that's when I got that underground.
Oh, you got the underground and you had to eat it.
You know, hog's head cheese. Remember that?
Hog's head cheese, yes.
Oh my
Straight
God.
out of Georgia.
I
It doesn't
mean,
sound right. I never
no,
had that,
that's
thank goodness.
Nasty.
They didn't make me eat that, like, you know, but like I said, my
Liver
mom
with
didn't make
gravy.
all of that, so she didn't make a lot of that stuff. My grandma did more of it, of course, but my mom didn't. She tried to give us stuff that was, you know, she wanted to try different
As the
recipes.
generations.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like you're kind
Kinda.
of that way.
What's that?
Trying out different stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while. I mean, like, I like to go out to eat and try different stuff.
That's true.
That's definitely a thing.
No Outback for you.
I like Outback.
I do too, but you know.
Whatever.
But yeah, going back to the cultural piece of it in the sense that, you know, finishing, you know, the meat on the bone,
Yeah.
the plate, you know, back in, you know, the day, you know, you didn't know when you were going to eat, you got the scraps.
Yes.
So you had to,
You had to
know,
eat.
You had to eat everything. I mean, I remember I saw a picture of someone was braiding a girl's hair and they were putting like rice into her hair.
Wow.
And that's kind of like why they had the braids in. They had that particular hairstyle because they had to keep rice in there because, you know, working on the fields, they didn't know when they were going to eat next. So
Wow.
it was a struggle to, you know, get food. So they had the food braided into her hair.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
interesting.
That is interesting.
I guess that's where it comes
Yeah,
from.
yeah. The mentality, you got to eat.
You got to
You
finish
have to, you have to eat
all
your
your
food.
food. Mhm.
Yeah,
That's the important thing with food. You gotta eat it to survive.
right. Yeah, that's very true.